Let's go! Adrenaline! Adrenaline! Running through my veins! Good afternoon, I'm Robin Banks, and welcome back to the PODIUM GT-3 Championship 2022. The British Heart Foundation provides funding for research on all kinds of heart disease and defects. It's a very worthy charity, so we support it all we can. And you can too. Follow the link on the webpage, and any help you give, no matter how small, is extremely helpful. Round 4 and the halfway point in the championship. We're in Germany on the very long and brutal Nürburgring Nordschleife. Our drivers will need to be totally on point, as this track can be very hard to maintain focus, and you can bet they will need their fingers surgically removed from the steering wheel by the end of the race. Every pit stop will need a new magazine of tear-offs and most likely some serious vocal scalp technique implementation. The track is 12.9 miles in length, with the longest straight of 1.3 miles and a total of 154 corners. In round 3, Brian Messiah delivered another first-class performance. He says he could almost feel his hands on the trophy, and Carlos Punterino was well up to speed in his Lexus with a fabulous second place. David Punterino finished in style with a fantastic third, but Team Sky Sports had an almost disastrous weekend as 3 drivers crashed out of the race, and although Artie Fenati crashed, he still managed to bring his Porsche home in 5th place. I'll hand you over now to our ex-race driver and technical guru Dave Unshaw, who's out in his Mercedes doing our lap focus. The track is too long for our usual coverage, so Dave is showing off his favourite parts of the track. How's it going, Dave?
Many thanks, Robin. I've been doing a few laps, but I still ain't quite got it together all the way. This really is a brutal track, folks. It is really, really hard to maintain focus. There are so many corners and camber changes, up and down, ascents and descents. It is absolutely incredible. But this is one of my favourite sections. Love this bit here into the right-hander. You feel the front of the car go light as you come into the left-hander, and then you're on the gas down the straight up to top speed, reaching speeds of about 170 miles an hour and over this crest. As you fly over the front of the car, let's run up like that, and you have to drop a gear or dip the brakes just to make the corner. It is incredible stuff. Down the hill we go. There really is not many places to overtake down through here. Next up, another incredibly fast section. Almost dropped down to the bottom of the hill, and we're going along, I think there's a river by the side of us. It's so fast through here. This is quite a good place to overtake if you can get in the slipstream, but it's also very narrow for 2 cars. Coming down here, this corner coming up is a real nail-biter. You've got to go into it blind, and you literally lose the grip of the car. It's very, very scary indeed. Over this little crest and into the right-hander, and then you're coming into an almost a hairpin here. Hard on the brakes. Right around the corner. Be very careful on exit here. You can spin the car out and then bomb up to the top of this hill, and there's a really, really dodgy left-hander. My third favourite is the top section at the top of the hill. This is really good fun through here. Quite wide as well, so you can overtake, but it's very easy to clip the curbs and end up in the gravel traps. You just don't get a break on this track until you get to the back straight. It really is a hard cuff mentally and physically. The car is pushing you all the way, and you in turn are trying to push the car. And here's the last section. I've just gone down the 1.3 mile straight, and this is the last part before the pits. It really is such a relief to have a breather. 6 laps of this, Robin, is going to be absolutely brutal stuff. Good luck, guys.
It does look like an absolutely incredible track, Dave. I bet that was really hard work. There really is no rest for the wicked on this track, folks. Let's go down to the grid and look at the lineup for today's race. On pole, Brian Messiah. In second, Archie Angelo. Fantastic result for Archie. In third, Damon Punterino. In fourth, Halen Van Eddy. Brilliant to see Halen 4th on the grid. 5th for Artie Fenati. 6th, Alex Anders. 7th, Carlos Punterino. In 8th place, Fabio Detrelli. As we sweep around the corner. In 9th, Wyatt Earp. In 10th, Lydia Champagne. In 11th, Stu LEBOUEF. Good result for Stu. In 12th, Scott Milano. In 13th, Rico Mortis And rounding out the grid in 14th, SIMMON. So as we head down to the grid for the start of the 4th round of the British Heart Foundation PODIUM GT-3 Championship, engines are revving. Brian Messiah on pole and are away. Brian gets a really good start. Down into the first corner, very important. Remember, we're on cold tyres, so very easy to spin out. Archie Angelo also gets a good start. He's up behind Brian. David Punterino in 3rd place. Halen Vanetti in 4th. Fantastic. Artie Finotti in 5th. Halen and Artie almost in the boot of Halen Vanetti already. Down through the slippery bends they go. Halen holding him off, doing a good line. Looks like somebody's crashed. Look like David Punterino. Let's take a look. Yeah, David Punterino crashed out. He won't be very happy with that. Let's see what happened. Caught the grass, sent him into a bit of a spin. Easy down on cold tyres. He'll be kicking himself. Back with Artie Finotti, still in Halen Vanetti's boot, up over the hill, and in that horrible right-hander where you almost crash if you don't hang it tight. Halen giving a bit of ground. Alexander's is right up behind Artie Finotti, and Carlos Punterino's in this party too. Stu goes out wide, letting Rico through. He'll be shaking his fist, not at Rico. Lydia Champagne looked like she stepped aside to let Rico go. Flying down towards this right-hander, very long sweeping right-hander. Scott Milano in 9th place, shoots straight up the inside of his teammate Fabio Nitrelli. Taking 8th place, says thank you very much. Fabio's car swerving all over. This is a horrible bit of track too, people. It's blind, and if you don't get it right, that's what happens. Fabio not having a great first lap. This track does take no prisoners, people, I tell you. It is one hell of a track. Back with Artie Finotti. Alexander's is almost in his boot now. Halen Vanetti putting a little bit of a gap. Carlos Punterino not letting him get away. Down the hill, Halen loses a bit of grip on that entry into that corner. That allowed Carlos Punterino to get up beside Alexander's. Looks like he yielded. Not a great place to overtake down from here. Very fast. Easy to push people off track. Down towards that horrible left-hander. That's the one. Alexander's on the grass. Carlos Punterino trying to find a way around. Alex still on the grass. It's really hard, that corner. And so's this one too. Damon Punterino on the back of Rico. Damon's got very good pace on this track. Damon goes for a lunge, clips the back of Rico and spins him out. Damon won't be happy about that. He's holding off to let Rico pass, take the position back. Rico's still trying to turn round. I believe he's facing the wrong way. What an awful, awful round for Rico so far. On board with Artie Finotti, chasing Halen Vanetti down through the bottom fast section. Don't ask me what the corners are, people. I could not tell you. There's 154 of them. Hey, in the slipstream of Halen Vanetti. Almost going to shoot past. Going to get up the inside. Halen's not holding back. Both of them side by side. This is not a great corner to be overtaken on, that's for sure. Halen takes it really, really quick. It looked like Artie broke a little bit. Very scary call on that one. Brian Messiah, the race leader, he's pulled one hell of a gap, and it's not even the first lap over yet, folks. Into the carousel. Absolutely flying up that hill to the top section. Brian's got unbelievable pace on this track. Could he make this his 4th win of the season? Running away with this championship, I feel. Halen Vanetti still being harassed by Artie Finotti. Halen going into the top section now. This is one hell of a section, folks. It's left, right, left, right. It's like a marching band through here. Unbelievable. Curbs everywhere. Slippery sections, off-camber corners, blind corners, you name it. They threw the lot in for good measure. Halen doing a great job. Carlos Punterino still chasing Alexander's. Got Scott Milano for company. Carlos goes wide onto the grass. He'll be kicking himself. In fact, this is the section where Rico knocked him off track in the Meisterschaft. Bounced off the barrier and poor old Carlos was on the inside. Took him out completely. David Punterino in 11th place. Got past Rico, trying to make up some ground now. Can he pull something out of this? Come in, Dave. It's open. How's it going, Dave? Good afternoon, people. Nice to see you all again. It's been one hell of a weekend so far, I can tell you. You missed that qualifying session earlier, Robin. I tell you, it was absolute chaos for Rico. That's why he's in 14th place. Crashed on that really long left-hander and was trying to get back on track, and poor old Carlos come round a corner and went straight into him. Almost ruined Carlos's qualifying. I did catch a wind of something like that, but I wasn't sure whether it was true or not. But yeah, Rico had a really, really poor start, Dave. I've never seen him so far down the field, I don't think. Really bad. Artie Fedati gets Halen Vanelli on the slipstream up the back straight. 1.3 miles long is a long time behind somebody. Looks like Scott Milano's doing the same thing to Alexander's. Those Porsches have got some legs, Dave. They do seem to have a lot of top end, that's for sure. I won't say that they handle as good as the Beetles, but the top end of them is very, very good. As we see Scott and Alex go past the pit entrance. I'll tell you, the entrance to that pit lane is really scary. You come down there at 180 mile an hour and you have to slow down at the last minute to go into the pit lane. It could easily be a horrible mistake. Simon Bouquet on the back of Stu LeBoeuf. Simon trying to make up ground. He was last on the grid. He did say to me that he would hope for a good result, but I think he's going on mediums and taking the slow approach. Gets past Stu LeBoeuf down the back straight though. He's quite good at the slipstream, is old Simon. Do you remember at Monza in the first GT-2 Walk Cup, Simon was phenomenal using a slipstream. He was right up Brian's jacksie the whole race. Looks like Stu LeBoeuf's taking the scenic route. My word, did those tear off underpants eject that. Into the slow part bends, past the pit entrance. Lydia Champagne doing a phenomenal job in 9th. Tear bottoming around the track like you've never seen her go. They told her if she gets a good result out of this, Damon said he would send her off on a weekend away, all at her own expense. Yes, he is quite generous, he's Damon, that's for sure. I know Lydia was absolutely thrilled, and so she's really going to try her hardest. I think she's just got to end up in the top 10. That'll be good for Lydia. As we watch Artie Fedati shoot around the outside of Archie Angelo. My word, Artie's on it this weekend, Dave. I'll tell you what, Robin, he looks like a man possessed in this round. I know he qualified in 5th, but I wouldn't mind betting he'll get top 3 easy, I would have thought. Yes, he seems to love the place, that's for sure. Carlos Punterino going into a right-hander, chasing Alex Anders. Still trying to get up to the back of Alex. Alex doing very well, fending him off in 6th place. Carlos coming down to another right-hander and into another left-hander. Carlos taking as much curb as track limits will allow. Ladies and gentlemen, there have been reports of seagulls attacking spectators by dive bombing into their campsites and tents. Please keep half an eye open. We didn't realize they were so vicious. And it seems their diet is not so dissimilar from ours. Thank you. Blimey, Dave, we got killer seagulls in they were a bit far inland for seagulls, aren't we? Well, that's what I thought, but you never know. Maybe they've come in for there's a lot of food here with all these people watching on the track. They might just be here just to, top up or something, I don't know. It does seem a bit weird, though. On board with our championship leader, Brian Messiah. Almost losing it, but dragging it back from the brink. Up towards the carousel. I know this corner, Dave. Left-hander, horrible bit of track. The drivers say, why the hell they put that slippery old load of crap tarmac in there? I do not know. I'll tell you what, the medical centre up there there's literally hundreds of people in chairs and beds outside who have just had a go on this track last weekend. I'm not surprised. It is really, really challenging and, to be honest with you, quite frightening. Looks like Brian set the fastest lap of the race on lap 1, 6:17, Dave. That's really good for a first lap. That's great for a first lap. And I'll tell you what as well, he's been in the 6:11s. He has got phenomenal pace here, and he seems to love this Beetle. That's definitely showed all championship, that's for sure. Do you think he'll take the trophy, Dave? He has one hell of a point lead already. And if he finishes first here and gets these 2 lots of bonus points, he could very well be on his way. It's been a long time coming, Dave. It has, hasn't it? He has really tried over all the championships that we've done, but I think this could be, it's looking to me like this could be his turn. Do you realise that means we'll have 3 double champions in our roster, Dave? Yes, I do. But I hear talk of this new championship, and I think that's going to open the door for a lot of people. I have seen a flyer posted, just showing basically what it is. It's basically Formula One cars of old, and it's a new series going to be starting, I think. I'll tell you what, you thought that the GR2 Jenny Tillwalk Cup was rapid. This new championship's called the Formula 19, and I'll tell you, I can't wait. I have seen these cars in action before, Dave. They are blisteringly fast, and they handle like they are on rails. David Punterino coming up behind Lydia Champagne. I don't know whether Lydia let her past or made a mistake and ended up on the grass, but he is really on it. He's after Fabio Detrelli. David using all kinds of scenery to get going, but it's no penalty, so that's good. Into that right-hander, into the long left-hander. I think it's over a bridge as well, Dave. I don't think it's a bridge. It looks like a bridge, but I don't think it is. Yeah, you're probably right. Fabio Detrelli in 9th place. Yellow flags are out. Looks like somebody's made a balls up somewhere. Almost coming over to the long straight, Dave. It's a hell of a long straight. It does seem to go on for a very, very long time, I know that. You kind of sit there, you could almost have a cup of tea. I think you'd probably spill it when you came out of the 180 mile an hour speed zone into the 50 mile an hour through those bends before pit lane, Dave. You would. Yeah, you're probably right. David Punterino doing all he can. Fabio Detrelli weaving left and right to keep him out of the slipstream. The Porsche's definitely got the legs over the Beetle, that's for sure. White Earth coming into land. Fabio Detrelli absolutely hammering into those bends we were just talking about. A lot of fans up there. A lot of fans waiting for their tear-off underpants to come in. I tell you what, I've seen signed tear-off underpants for sale on eBay, Dave. And you can get them on Amazon as well if you search. Don't forget, people, at the end of the race, they do have a driver signing event, so you could, if you've got any tear-offs that you've collected, you can come and get them signed by your favourite driver. I'll tell you what and all, you better get in quick, because the queue is quite long. Have they got rid of that problem with the flies, Dave, or not? Yeah, they only had problems with the flies before they decided to make them centred. It's a good job they do make them centred, Dave. I've seen a few pairs of those, and I tell you what, folks, you would not want to have that on your living room wall, I can tell you. I'm quite staggered, to be honest with you, how much sweet corn and carrots these guys go through. It's supposed to be good for focus, Dave. They eat the carrots so they can see better, and the sweet corn, well, I don't know why they eat the sweet corn, but yeah, they do. I have heard talks of after we've left, the grass and the vegetation seems to grow quite well. Mind you, Dave, the tear-offs are biodegradable. Yes, they are. Yeah, they are biodegradable. So if they lose any or whatever, they basically put themselves back into the ground. Really, it's probably compost, I would imagine. Anyway, enough about tear-off underpants. Scott Milano's in second place, doing a phenomenal job. Although I do feel Brian Messiah might have something to say about that. He's attacking Carlos Punterino. Brian's obviously pitted, and Carlos is probably doing a one-stop, Dave. Carlos hasn't pitted yet, and I know Brian has, so he's going to be on fresh tyres. Looks up the inside into the right-hander. Thinks about it on the left-hander. Carlos loses a bit of traction on the way out and ends up spinning onto the grass. That's easy done there. Really, really tricky part of the track. Very bumpy and easy to lose grip on exit. Carlos will be kicking himself for that, Dave. That's the only problem with going for a one-stop. All right, you might gain a little bit in pit time, but what you lose on the track might not be worth it. I don't know. Azati Fernati shoots past Carlos Punterino as well. He is a man possessed this weekend, I tell you, Dave. Do you know, I heard that they sometimes keep Artie in a cage. Isn't that against the law, Dave? No, he lets them lock him up till he gets into an absolute, like, going bananas state, and then they chuck the keys to his car in there and open the door and let him run out. Scott Milano crashes out. He'll be shaking his fist and kicking himself for that, that's for sure. Brian Messiah coming at him like a rocket. Straight up the inside. Scott probably didn't even see him coming. It probably made him scared. And Scott spins out again. Crashes on that right-hander, Dave. Real slow right-hander too. Scott not having a good time. That's let Artie through as well. It looks like Carlos is trying to go around. And Carlos is on the high curbs there, trying to go around him into the carousel. Poor old Scott loses traction trying to get out the carousel again. That's 3 crashes in about 2 corners, Dave. If I know Scott, he'll be absolutely devastated with that. He really will. He'll get so upset. Anyway, folks, we're at the halfway point in the race, so let's go down to pit lane and have a quick word with our ex-physical trainer and loquacious guru, Jack Tupp. How's it going, Jack? Many thanks, Robin. I'm down here in pit lane with Scott Milano's crew chief, just in case he snaps the third. Hey, Justin. Nice to meet you. Scott had a great result in Spain, and we know he's fast here. What's his secret? Scott does a lot of meditation and relaxation exercises to help him focus when he needs it the most. He calls it Scott's happy time. He can relax to the point where he's almost comatose. Did he develop this technique, or has he had to learn it? Well, see, his wife really helped with the training on that one, as she never stops talking, or what he likes to call nagging. So what's the first step to going into his trance? Well, the first step is the thumb sucking, and then he twirls the hair on the side of his head. He can't do the top anymore. He wore that away, and that's now just skin. Then he closes his eyes and chants, "Find a happy place." You know he's found one when he stops snoring and muttering. I shall have to try that technique. Sounds like it could help me. Ouch! Sorry, love, I didn't see you there. And what you doing walking around with a frying pan anyway? There you have it, Robin. Another technique to sink your teeth into. Back to you. Ooh. Many thanks, Jack. I should get yourself to the medical centre and get them to look at your buds if I were you. Jack's wife sounds like a lovely girl, Dave. Blimey off, but yes, she does. You're right. Damon Punterino on the back of Rico Mortis. Lap 3, Rico's in 9th, Damon's in 10th. Can Damon make it through? Looks like Fabio Rutrelli's crashed. Not sure where this is. No, I just caught a glimpse of his car going into that horrible left-hander where I thought it was a bridge, and it is to the carousel. Well, half a carousel, I suppose, Dave. Damon trying to get around Rico. Looked like Rico let him go then, Dave. It did look like Rico let him go. Let's see what happened to Fabio. Caught the grass. Going like the clappers into that left-hander. Wyatt comes through. There's Rico and Damon. Fabio not having a great time either this round, Dave. Looks like he's struggling a little bit. He does look like he's struggling a little bit. I don't know where it's grip, suspension, I don't know what it is at the moment. He's, he looks like he's been, looks like he's trying to wrestle, like a wild bull or something. Simon Bouquet, we haven't seen him for a little bit, I know. Saturday told him to take it steady. Didn't want him mashing his crown jewels, apparently. I'm pretty sure his crown jewels will be all right. I know Editor and Philippa will not want to see Daddy in harm's way. Well, they've definitely come to the wrong place for that. Bouquet was signing a few papers before the race, and he said to me that he just wanted to get us one out of the way. I wonder if one of them was his will. All these drivers sign a disclaimer, Robin. They know what they're getting into. Very dangerous sport. It is a very dangerous sport, Dave. As we see Lydia Champagne bottoming into the pit section. Going like a bullet from a gun. She is getting quicker. Quicker every round. She's reining that thing in, I'll tell you. What happened to Sandro Hastig, Dave? He was, I thought he was joining the Team Alien. Team. Apparently, and this, I don't take this as gospel, but I heard that, like last time with the Meister Shaft, Sandro got his sat-nav all screwed up, and somebody said they heard him shouting from the other side of the fence. But it's like 100 miles to get back to the actual track entrance, so I don't expect we'll see him this round. This track does take up one hell of a footprint, I'll tell you that, folks. It is massive. I know the people of Numbum are very proud of this place. I know there was a saying about, you see people with a face like a numb bum. I think you'll find that's a face like a smacked arse, Dave, not numb bum. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, I got it wrong, sorry. Apparently when Rico left Brad Zatch after the GT-3 World Cup, he had one of those. What, a face like a numb bum? No, smacked arse. I've seen Rico pull that face quite a bit, to be honest. Yes, he does have his moments. Yes, he can walk round with his, in a bit of a sulk sometimes. Do you think that it's the, oh, for God. Ladies and gentlemen, please be aware of the seagulls. They are still dive-bombing some of the spectators. Please do not approach them as they are quite wild and very ferocious. Thank you. Blimey, Dave, you'd have think they'd have got their shotguns out by now and done some clay seagull shooting. I don't think they're made of clay, Robin. They're made of flesh and blood and feathers. Yes, of course. Wyatt Earp losing a little bit of grip there and coming off track, but very, very good recovery. Running in 7th place. Back with Archie Angelo in 3rd. It'd be a fantastic result for Archie, Dave, if he brings this one home. I would like nothing more than to see Archie on the podium. That would be absolutely brilliant. He's definitely making progress with these cars and himself. Getting the hang of the tyres and the fuel and doing a great job is Archie. Put himself in 2nd on the grid. That is astonishing for Team Alien, considering they've came from nowhere. And, basically now sort of running in the top 5. It's one hell of a feat. Carlos and Archie and the boys have really reined this thing in and made it a competitive car, Dave. They have, and let's not forget Wyatt as well. He contributes to set up as well, and the 3 of them have done a great job. Lost a team member. That's just the way it goes. And really putting the last sort of few rounds of this championship that's left, I think they're going to be very, very competitive indeed. They will definitely be kicking bottom and taking names, that's for sure. And let's not discount this man, Halen Vanetti, doing a great job in 4th place. He's very, very quick here, Dave. Halen has been doing a really good job in this Beetle. I'll tell you, he's getting some serious good pace with this car. Great to see. He seems to have definitely been given some incentive. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but he's definitely on fire in this round. When I was talking with Emma over dinner last night, she told me that she's said to Alan that if he does well, he gets not 1 gold star, but 2. Blimey, if that's not an incentive, I don't know what is. I know Halen left the championships for a little while when they ran out of gold stars. I remember that. He was not a happy bunny, I can tell you. Well, he's back doing what he does best, and he's doing it very well. Damon Punterino in 5th place now. From that early crash, Dave, he's really pushed himself up the field, and he looks to me like he's on rails. You know, Damon, he left the tarmac then. Did you see that? He literally jumped off that bump. Unbelievable. He is really pushing this car. He's doing a great job too. The whole team's worked hard on this car, and they've really got it, you know, very competitive indeed. I mean, Brian is really on fire. Alexander's in 9th place, chasing Lydia Champagne. Into that really difficult track. I remember when Rico flew across here, Dave, and smashed into the side of Carlos. Cool, didn't he hit Carlos? He didn't know what... Well, Carlos kind of watched it unfold in front of his eyes, and he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. The tear-offs going off sounded like the Royal Artillery, Dave. Didn't it just? Alexander's making a bit of a lunge. Pushes Lydia Champagne a little bit wide. Lydia's okay. She's still on track. It was, I don't think it was intentional. This is a real fast section down through here, Dave. On board with Rico Mortis chasing Lydia Champagne. Alex has pulled a bit of a gap already by the look of it. Into the half carousel they go. Watch that exit. You can touch that grass, and that's the game over, folks. Lydia seriously holding her own into this corner. What happened there, Dave? That looked to me like Lydia was pulling over to let Rico pass, but what was she doing there? I don't know. Maybe she did see him coming and it kind of took her by surprise. Yeah, it could be that. Rico wringing the neck of that BMW. Archie Angelo being chased by Brian Messiah. Not for the faint-hearted. Brian hanging onto the back of Archie like his life depends upon it. I think he might make a move, Dave. Brian is definitely lining up a move up the inside of Archie Angelo. They are side by side, little bit of contact. Down they go, Brian's through. Extremely fast part of the track, that is. It is quite scary there. I can remember in the Meisterschaft, there was about 4 cars got collected in that corner. It is very fast down that hill. Brian pulling a bit of a gap now. Lap 5. Brian Messiah back in first place. Loves to set the times, does Brian. Archie's holding onto the back of it though, Dave. I'll tell you what, I am really impressed with Archie Angelo on this round. He is doing a phenomenal job. He really is. Qualifying second on the grid as well and doing what he's doing now, hanging onto the back of Brian. And he must be kind of midway with his tyre wear, I would have thought. I think Archie did a one-stopper, Dave. He's going for the long haul, where he's doing a very good job so far. Artie Fanati's not far behind either. Artie Fanati showing everybody he's got the reins on this Porsche now and really pushing. Cracking job. Only 3 of them left now as Scott Milano retired. The last 2 rounds, they've really had a bad time, the Sky Sports team have, but I think Artie's now at least got a good setup. Back with Rico. Being chased by Fabio Detrelli. Can Rico hold him off? Currently running in 8th place. Considering he started in 13th, that's not a bad result so far. Fabio Detrelli not far behind by the look of it. Into that swirling track they go. That looks like a really difficult part of the track to get right, Dave. It is. It's, I don't know what it is. If you kind of think you know the line, but when you come in, you know, Rico said to me that he has trouble with it. You know, you can lose a second going through there easy. Maybe he needs to look at what the other guys are doing and follow suit. That does help. Alexander's losing that BMW down that straight there. That's very unfortunate, that was. That's let Rico through, and Fabio Detrelli's just got through without making contact. I think that frightened the bejesus out of Fabio, to be honest. He looked like he swerved at the last minute. I didn't see any tear-offs come out, so I would imagine that Fabio's probably ran out by now. What happens when you run out, Dave? Let's just say it's not pretty. You don't have to say any more than that, Dave. I think I get the picture. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Carlos Punterino, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, after a thorough examination, it seems that the alleged seagulls were in fact ejected tear-off underpants falling from the sky. Safety helmets and umbrellas are now available from the track shop, And don't forget, you can get them signed by your favorite driver. Thank you. And I do mean the underpants. Hello, looks like Fabio's had another off. Poor old Fabio. I wasn't laughing at you, Fabio. I was laughing at this Burke on the tannoy. In case you're watching any time in the near future, probably tonight. Fabio doing all kinds. He looks like he's a bit out of shape, Dave. Fabio looks really like that car's very unstable, if you ask me. It's kind of weaving all over the place. No wonder he's ran out of tear-off underpants. He's on the grass again, Dave. I would say Fabio's struggling, definitely struggling on this round. Not easy, I know that. Well, he's almost got Wyatt Earp for company as well. Rico's now in 7th place. David Punterino in 6th. That would put Halen Van Eddie in 5th place, Dave. Top 5 for Eddie. Come on, Eddie, you can get top 5. We're all rooting for you. He could do with another good result, that's for sure. Wyatt Earp almost on the back of Fabio Nitrelli as he takes in a large chunk of scenery. Fabio hanging on for dear life to the steering wheel of that Porsche, I should think. Wyatt's right on his tail now. Down through the curvy section at the top of the hill. Wyatt Earp clinging onto the back. Looks like Alex Anders is coming in to join the party too. Can Fabio hold him off? I fear not, I'm afraid. He may well do, Dave. What do you think? If Fabio's tyres are gone, he's gonna come a cropper in a minute. He is pushing hard to hold Wyatt off. Wyatt's not giving him an inch. This is the Rico and the Rammer corner. Fabio hanging on. So's Wyatt. He's also clinging onto that steering wheel as though he was hanging on to a cliff edge. Very fast down through here. You hit top gear, almost 170 miles an hour. Some scary stuff. Fabio straight over the bank again. Wyatt's right on his tail now, bumping him up the rear. Swerving left, swerving right. Can he get past Fabio Nitrelli? Fabio hanging on. I'm actually rooting for Fabio. Come on, Fabio, you can hold him off. Into the half carousel. Fabio loses grip and goes into the green stuff, letting Wyatt Earp through. What a shame. Fabio put up a good fight then, Dave. He did. He put up a great fight then. Well done, Fabio. On board with Brian Messiah, chasing Artie Fanati, going right up the inside at the top of that hill. Blimey. That was one hell of a ballsy move, Dave. That could have gone so many different kinds of wrong. Artie Fanati's having none of it. He's right beside Brian Messiah. Down the hill they go. Brian's got the slight edge. Tucks in back in front of Artie. Artie is right on his tail. This is the final lap, people. It looks like Brands Hatch all over again, Dave. Right, I'm off down to the pits and watch these lot come over the line. I'll catch you guys next week at Fuji. Take care. Bye. Dave shot out of here like a bullet from a gun. He's eager to get down on pit lane and see these pair come over the line. You can also watch the lap on the pit computer as well on the screen they have in the pits. Archie Angelo's hanging onto the back as well, doing a great job, Archie. If he maintains this, he'll get his first podium. Fantastic stuff. Archie is not letting Brian get away. Down the hill they go, into the left-hander and then the sharp right. Even further down the hill, you keep going down here, right to the bottom. Artie doing all he can to hang on to the back of Brian. Brian's almost on worn tyres anyway, so he'll be sliding around a little bit, but that won't alter that. Brian will give it all he's got. Sliding out a bit, yeah, 40 was. He's struggling a little bit, but he's holding back Artie. Artie will be in the same boat. Artie's right on him now. Can he make a move? He's on the outside. Brian shuts the door. Around they go up the hill. Artie must be absolutely loving this. And Brian, he's probably frightened for his to lose his fourth win. Can Artie stop the win tally of Brian Messiah? We're all rooting for you, Artie. Come on. You can get one win from this guy, at least in this championship. On board with Artie Fedati, trying to find a way past Brian Messiah, bumps him in the rear. Is there any way he can go? Can he go left? Can he go right? He's going to try and dive up the right-hand side. Can he do it? He's on the grass. Brian Messiah trying to find his line. Artie seems to back off a bit through this corner. That's allowed Brian a little bit of breathing space. Down towards that horrible hairpin where Scott Milano crashed. Can Artie hold him off? Brian's pulled a bit of a gap. We can't take our eyes off these pair. This is the last half of a lap. Brian pulling a slight bit of room, giving himself some breathing space. Into the carousel they go. Artie holding a tight line. Getting a good exit out of there is extremely important up this hill. Brian doing all he can. He's pulled about, I would say, about a 1 second gap on Artie Fedati now. Can he hold him off? We've got the main straight to go, and this Porsche's got the legs. Brian will need to create a gap between him and Artie to allow that not to happen. He's got one already. Doing a great job. He knows he's got to make a gap. Artie knows he's got to close the gap and get right on his tail. Unbelievable stuff, folks. Brian Messiah sliding around. Artie looks like he's got the most grip, to be fair. Around the right-hander he goes. Up the hill towards the rammer corner. Artie tried everything he can to get on the back of Brian. Try not to make a mistake, but keep it very sweet and clean at the same time. Trying to maintain that speed through the corners without making a slip up here, folks, is absolutely incredible. Artie sliding around. Can he get onto the back of Mr. Messiah? Artie taking in a bit of scenery. Just enough not to get a penalty. Into the right-hander, then into that left-hander. And down towards the half carousel. Artie Fedati's touched the gravel trap. That would have allowed Brian Messiah a little bit of breathing space. Brian's going up the hill to start the run down the back straight. Definitely put a bit of wind and scenery between him and Artie Fedati. He's probably too far away to get on the slipstream, but the Porsche has got the pace. Hammering down the back straight. Artie Fedati will have his crop out and be thrashing his own backside trying to get up here, I tell you. He'll be almost leaning against the windscreen on the inside. Brian Messiah keeping over to the right-hand side. Artie's closing in. Brian needs to get a nice clean run up through the last few corners onto the grid straight. Can he do it? Here he comes. Brian clipping the brown staff. Artie's gained a bit of time. Artie's almost on the back of Brian. Can Brian make it through these last few corners onto the straight? He does. Brian Messiah takes his 4th win of the season. Congratulations, Brian and Artie Fedati with a 2nd place. Absolutely stunning. And here comes the man of the moment, Archie Angelo, with his first podium. Just make it through the last few corners, Archie. You can do it. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Archibald Angelo on the podium for the first time. Well done. Here comes Carlos Punterino. You can tell by that howl. Sounds like the god of thunder has just arrived. Here he comes, sliding around a little bit. Tyres gone, but Carlos made a brilliant 4th place. Well done, Carlos Punterino. And Halen Vanetti, top 5. Fantastic result for the leapfrog. Here comes David Punterino. What a recovery he made from being last on the field to 6th place. Fantastic stuff, David. Enrico Mortis from 13th on the grid, had a terrible qualifying session. And to hopefully bring it home in 7th place. That's a blimmin' good result for Rico. Up through the hill, clipping that curb. Easy on the brakes for this first corner. It's quite sharp to the right hand and it's very easy to hit that barrier. Come on, Rico, last corner. Sliding around. Rico Mortis takes 7th. Fantastic stuff. Hello, he's not quite took 7th. He has now. Wyatt Earp coming around the right-hander onto the pit straight. Brilliant result for Wyatt Earp, 8th place for a track like this. Well done. And Alex Anders bringing it almost over the line in 9th place. With Lydia Champagne in 10th, Simon Bouquet in 11th, and Stu LeBoeuf in 12th. So let's take a look at our final race positions, with Brian Messiah in 1st, Artie Finotti in 2nd, and Archie Angelo in 3rd place. Carlos Punterino in 4th, and Halen Van Eddy in 5th. 6th for Damon Punterino, and 7th for Rico Mortis. 8th for Wyatt Earp and Alex Anders in 9th, with Lydia Champagne in 10th, and Simon Bouquet in 11th, and Stu LeBoeuf in 12th. Fabio Nitrelli and Scott Milano both retired. So let's take a look at the podium. Congratulations to Brian Messiah with his 4th win of the season, with Artie Finotti 2nd on the podium and Archie Angelo with his 1st podium in 3rd. So let's take a look at the championship results so far. Brian Messiah on a whopping 125 points, with Damon Punterino on 77, Carlos Punterino on 66 and Rico Mortis on 45. Archie Finotti on 44, Archie Angelo 43 points, Halen Van Eddy on 40 points, with Wyatt Earp on 32. Scott Milano on 27, and Alex Anders with 23, and Simon Bouquet with 22. Lydia Champagne on 17, and Fabio Nitrelli on 9, with Stu LeBoeuf on 7. So let's take a look at the team championship points so far. After 4 rounds, Team Semi-Tech are running away with it with 219 points, with Team Alien on 145, Rizzler on 90, and Sky Sports Porsche on 87 points. That's it, folks. Next week we broadcast from Japan at the Fuji Speedway for round 5. So for now, from me, David the team, thanks for watching, take care, and goodbye.
Just running my own lines. I'm delivering on all the danger signs. I'm a renegade and you won't hold me back. I'm living on the edge and you won't push me back. I'm a renegade and I'm driving on the edge. On a one-way